Well, what's up, wrestling fans? It's been a long day. Hey, I got my Dunkin' Dog Nuts coffee. Sitting here with my Dunkin' Dog Nuts coffee. Or I guess soon it's just going to be Dunkin's or whatever the hell. That's stupid, but whatever. Anyway, what's up, guys, is State of the WWE episode 112. This is the 112th episode of State of the WWE. And after last night at WWE Raw, by the way, my name is Joe Cronin. Follow me on Twitter at CorruptedPod, at CorruptedPod. And if you were hearing about the news, Braun Strowman is basically going to be written off TV. That's what they did last night. They wrote Braun Strowman off television, basically targeting his arm and elbow again. This is because he's going to require surgery on his elbow. This is the second time he's had to have surgery on that elbow, and they're at this point they're not sure when, if he's going to be able to make it to TLC. So they really don't know. They think he's going to make it to TLC, but they really can't be 100% sure. I would guess that he will, but it's close. So they wrote him off TV last night. That was the reason for doing what they did. So that's pretty much more bad news. It seems like there's always something going on with somebody, somewhere, somehow. So will he make it to TLC? We don't know. We've also got, again, I thought it was ridiculous. So, yeah, there you go there. AOP Drake Maverick is pissing his pants. The AOP have basically become dog piss. They've become the AOPP. Great job there. Glad you built them up in NXT so they could be a fucking piss joke. I'm sure Triple H... does Triple H actually think that this is great? Does Triple H sit there and think, oh, McMahon, good job. We built him up as the AOP NXT tag team champions who really seem like badasses with Paul Ellering. And then they come up on the main roster, and now they're called AOPP. They're the tag team champions, but their manager pisses his pants after they didn't have a manager when they should have before. So just everything that could go wrong with most people that come up from NXT does, as they're mishandled and turned into a joke. And, you can get in the argument about two different audiences and all that other stuff. But, the audience to me is kind of what you make it. And at this point, you made the audience mostly complacent, casual idiots. And the more you make of those, the less people that will show up to your live shows. And the less people that will continue to watch. I just don't know what to tell you anymore. I don't know what to say anymore for the WWE as far as this goes. It's joke after joke after joke. It's create a star and then destroy them when they get to the main roster. Every single time this happens. And it's embarrassing, I think. So according to Michaels, I remember, now I have not read this yet. I still haven't read it, even though I just started to read the first line. I believe that Sean cut his hair, because I thought maybe it would make him look better, if he and then he was like, well, this doesn't look very good. I'll shave my head. I thought that's why he did it. So we're gonna find out if that's true or not. Here we go. Before the storyline started, I was doing a movie. I did an independent movie in Texas where I played a younger version with my hair, and then I played an older version of me that got sick and everything else. So that's why I ended up shaving it. Okay, so I've been everyone's been wrong. I was completely wrong. I ended up shaving it for the movie, and then I got called in to do this thing. And I thought, do you know what? Hunter has got a bald head, and I'm bald now. I'm just gonna go and chop it off. Michaels added, and now it has gotten to where my wife likes it, and Edge and Christian know this sort of stuff is much easier to manage. Man, your wife likes it. That's hot. That's awesome if your wife likes it. Man, I don't think Leah would ever like my hair bald. And I'm going to be bald, so I'm just kind of screwed. I'm going to be an ugly prick. He says, I've really enjoyed acting. The Marine is coming out relatively soon. Yeah, we should see it, man. I don't know. We'll see it. I don't know. And I got to watch one of those Shawn Michaels movies. I've never really watched anything with Shawn Michaels. I think the only last time I saw Shawn Michaels act, it might have been like back in the 90s, like on the late 90s. Maybe he was on an episode of like that show with the Stone Cold or whatever that show was with the guy from Miami Vice. What the hell was that show? I don't even remember. I don't remember what the hell the show that name was. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so Braun's written off TV. There's the OP. They're dead. Roman Reigns' leukemia battle is going to be used more. So there's another report out there that, like, you know, Roman Reigns' leukemia battle is going to be used more. So you're going to see more of that. So all the people that are like, oh my God, no. You know, I think part of it, I want to say part of it is probably because Roman told them to use it. You know, probably was like, go ahead, use it. Why, you know, why not use this? You know, so they're probably all on board with it. I think the other part of it is that he feels, and, you know, who the hell really knows? We don't know the severity of things. But they might feel that, you know, the doctor's like, you know, 95%, you got this. It's not going to be that crazy. You know, we'll be able to get through this and a little chemo and this and that. So they may feel very positive about it. And so maybe that's another reason why they don't mind using it in a way. They're making it worse than, I don't want to say worse than it is because it's pretty bad, at least what we were told about it. But maybe WWE feels like they can play with it because of that. And also Roman Reigns himself, you know, really stressed he wants it to be done. It's a little creepy with him having a kid. That's the one thing that like would scare me, is like, I don't want my kids seeing me like basically being talked about like this and then die on TV, you know. But then again, you know, knowing me, to be honest, I'd probably do anything. I'd probably tell them to say I was dying, you know, if they could. So, you know, I can't say that. I'd do anything. It's wrestling. It's, you know what I mean? I've got a mentality. Although I didn't really continue in wrestling myself, I stopped. I mean, I'd love to go back to it, but you know, although I stopped doing the wrestling mostly, I always had a mentality of anything to make it work, anything to get it over, anything to, you know, make people think this is real and, you know, buy a ticket or to get angry or whatever you can do. So, and I didn't care about what we used to do that. And so I think a lot of wrestlers still kind of have that mentality. At least hopefully they do, because the minute they stop having that mentality is when, wow, you think it's lame now. It's going to get real lame if that happens. So we can only hope that does not happen. Becky Lynch, punch, was it on purpose? Roman not having leukemia. Those are still rumors that float around out there. That, you know, this whole Roman Reigns thing is a elaborate scheme to get Roman over. So when he comes back, it's like a miracle and everyone's going to cheer for him, and that's how they're going to get Roman over. Now, we have heard, and I've already been over why I think that's completely ridiculous, but we have heard that WWE is going to be doing their best, or at least has been thinking about doing a lot more blur the lines storylines, where they actually use the business to get heat, such as, like, you know, Nia Jax punching Becky Lynch in the face. You know, hey, listen, go out there, kind of punch her in the face. You know what I mean? We'll give her stitches. If you really hurt her a little bit, you know, we'll fix her up. If you don't really hurt her, you know, we'll make it look like she really did get hurt and throw like what looks like a real punch. And then you'll get heat for being a sloppy worker or whatever, and that's the only way we'll get heat. I don't agree with either one of those things. I can't believe that the WWE would be doing that. I get that in some other ways they probably are doing things to make it look like, hey, do anything to get heat, it doesn't matter. Now they're going to take advantage of that, and it is coincidental, seemingly, that, you know, Nia Jax has this rivalry coming up with Ronda Rousey, and so, you know, I could kind of see where people are going with that. And then also Roman can never get over, right? Roman Reigns can just never get over. He can never do it. He can never get over no matter what. What are they going to do? Oh, now he's got leukemia again. You know, and he's going to come back, and it's going to be babyface galore. So, you know, there is a part of me, there's a sick part of this that's like, I wonder what they're doing. And we're also hearing now, too, that they really were disappointed that, you know, Becky and Ronda were getting the spotlight, and Charlotte was starting to get left behind because they really want Charlotte to be seen how Becky and Ronda are, if not above them. So they're really interested in making sure Charlotte stays prominent or prevalent or whatever with what Becky's doing. So to me, that's a scary thing for any Becky Lynch fans. You know, that every time you think something's going on with her, you know, Charlotte's gonna pop up in the corner. You know, like, hey, you remember me? Huh? Because WWE has a clear hard-on for Charlotte. No matter what she does, they see her as the Roman Reigns of the women's division. I enjoy Charlotte more than I enjoy Roman Reigns myself, but that's just me. But yeah, you could be looking at that. You could be seeing that. Shawn Michaels, we know why he shaved his head now. And then you want to talk about WWE ratings. You want to talk about WWE ratings? You know, the other night, Jake DeMarco was saying that he believes that, you know, last night's Raw is going to do the worst rating of the year. I believe it's going to do the worst rating of a show after a pay-per-view of the year. So those are our differences. And at this point, I don't think the ratings have come out yet. So we're still waiting on the ratings here. I've been waiting all day on this because after what Jake said and after what I said, we kind of got a little bet going here. And I want to know. I want to know what's up here. And I'm looking, and I don't see the ratings. I don't see the ratings yet. Usually they come out at some point today or tomorrow. And you know what? They're not out there. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Monday Night Raw. Oh, here we go. Maybe this is it. We might have them actually. Let's see. This is an initial one. So this is WWE Monday Night Raw for 11/19. No, it's not for WWE Raw. So this site's BS. Yeah, we'll have to wait till they actually get officially numbered and catalog, because with that football game last night, dude, that Monday Night Football game was so crazy. I mean, even if people were watching Raw for a little while, the minute that they started hearing the buzz about Monday Night Football, there was people probably dropping off watching Raw to watch that football game who for some reason didn't plan on watching that football game. So that's how crazy that was last night. And most people who started watching that football game probably thought there's no chance in hell I'm turning it over to watch WWE Raw. Not to mention all the people who tune in for a little while to see what's going on, and then they think, well, this is terrible, I'm turning this off, and then they turn it off. And then what happens is a lot of these people come back around the 11 o'clock period to see what the closing moments of Raw is going to be, because that's usually when sometimes things can get a little bit exciting. But now there isn't that excitement anymore, because now Raw ends at exactly 11 o'clock at night every week. So now you've taken that excitement away, and maybe it's a lot of those people don't even realize that that's happened. And eventually, I wonder, are people going to start tuning in at 10:45 to see the last 15 minutes of Raw? I don't think it's ever going to be the same. I don't think you're ever going to get the same amount of people jumping in at the end to see what's going on. Now, some kids that were watching the show probably got kicked off at 11 by their parents, maybe no matter what, Like, oh, it's 11, but Ma, it's not over yet. It could go another 20 minutes. You need to go to bed. So there are kids that tune out around that time. So for everybody, a lot of people start tuning in around that time, but a lot of kids probably may start tuning out around that time, depending on their age and, whatever their rules are in their house and all that stuff. By the way, I want to take a quick second here to tell everybody, if you didn't know, me and Leah just did episode 2. It is up now on the Patreon. So all you patrons, episode 2 is up right now of Till Death Do Us podcast. It is a 1 hour and 20-minute episode, man. Me and Leah talked about some stuff at first for a little bit. Then we took your questions. Then we got in a fight about the Mandela effect at one point at the end. And about Star Wars. And you can find out what I was saying about Star Wars and the Mandela effect on there. Plus, we answered all your questions. We talked about this weird picture, these fish that are weird. I don't know. We get a lot of questions. It's a big show. I thought it was kind of funny. So it's another, I think, pretty good episode up on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. So if you get a chance, jump over to my Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, or download the app for free. It's free to download the app. And check it out. Everybody, it has been one of the most watched or listened to shows I've ever done on Patreon. At least the last one was. We'll find out how this one sticks up for everybody. And that's it, man. And we got more to talk about now, though. We got some rumors coming up here, and I also got something else. I'm waiting on this website. This website actually might release the Raw ratings, so we'll see. But this is State of the WWE, and I want to just thank the executive producers of JCS for supporting with 3,000 or more over the years. Brian Himmelfarb, Justin Mcneil, DMOON, The Bear, 1322, Goon, Gorilla Strong, Nikki T, Schleppy, TNA better than WWE. LukeNDfan, NullDeath, ABELsalasJR, Bad Omen 666, WoolhatDemon, Shell, AruShinchu, and Lemon. Big time supporters over there. And if you're a $25 patron or more, you will have the associate producer credit in the description box down below of the videos. You guys are making these videos possible, so thank you. And that is, once again, at the top, Justin Mcneil, the top patron on Patreon. Freddie Mitchell, BrokenLion, Mike Hartzler, Jim K's, Frog Kid, BigBadAds, Sav King, V2ofDoom, Brian Himmelfarb, Marz Mira, Coop The Comedian, The Bear, Cameron Sinclair, Tyler Lewis Floyd, Nicky J, SoCom Kastle. Thank you all for being $25 and up patrons on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. If you guys want to become one, just make sure you're a $25 or more patron. You'll get your name added to that list and get that shout out all the time. Boom. These are the rumors that I'm always interested in this stuff. You gotta always love the Wrestling Observer, don't you? Nobody of importance, they're saying, was upset about the crowd booing Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. WWE isn't worried about cheers or boos. They just want packed houses with loud fans. I mean, it used to be that, WWE would always say that they want a reaction. We want boos or cheers, and it doesn't be. They just don't want silence. But they want packed houses. I mean, if they want packed houses, I mean, they better start changing things, and that's kind of good news for anybody out there that's like, well, I hope WWE starts changing things and doing things differently. Well, I mean, if people continue to not buy tickets and there continues to sometimes be empty rows of seats and piles of empty seats all over the place, well, then if that rumor is true, then you can say that WWE would be paying attention to that. So I don't know. I don't know if I agree. Nobody of importance was upset. I don't think anybody would be upset by that last night. Yeah, I think they are probably happy the crowd is the way it is. I think they know everything's okay. I think. But that does contradict the rumor from Wrestling Observer as well that they wanted Charlotte to be cheered like Becky and Ronda. So they want Charlotte to be cheered like Ronda and Becky is, but they don't care about cheering or booing because they want packed houses. I mean, like, which one is it? So that right there, you twist all these rumors around and eventually you end up with bullshit. But who knows? I don't know. AJ Styles is negotiating a new contract. This is something we've known about for a week now. We've been talking about it. I haven't been talking about it too much. I've seen a lot of news on it, but I haven't talked about it that much. But yeah, negotiating still with the contract per PW Insider. His current contract is going to last until April 2009, but they're trying to figure out things right now. AJ's in the top 1% of the roster in terms of compensation, and he can take more. He can make more with WWE than anyone else does. That's pretty crazy. When you think about where AJ Styles came from and, what did anybody think that AJ was going to do when he came to WWE? Who would think that he'd be in that type of position? It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. I would assume he's in the top 5, top 10 merch sales all the time, constantly. He does pretty well. Pretty good sales with kids, pretty good sales with teenagers, pretty good sales with adult males. And of course with some women as well. So I mean, I would think that he does fairly decently. Or he's a very consistent top guy. He kind of reminds me of a little bit of like the Bret Hart sort of thing. I mean, AJ doesn't do very well on the mic to me, but he looks all right, and he obviously is like one of the best wrestlers in the world. So you put that together, it's very similar to Bret Hart for me. The guy's not a mega, like he's not a Hulk Hogan and a Stone Cold or anything like that, but he's a workhorse. And he's a guy who, you definitely need on your roster to hold the glue together. And if only you could build a few more kind of characters around him. But, will that ever happen again? I'm not really sure. There's another rumor here. This is a rumor! Daniel Bryan was originally going to answer questions during his pre-match backstage interview at Survivor Series instead of smiling at the camera. But that's not what happened. Raja.com says that. This is all per Cage Seats, CagesideSeats.com. By the way, shout out to a couple different websites, to be honest. And now I can't think of the I can't think of the websites' names. Oh my god, dude. Man, this coffee isn't helping me worth a shit. You know? That's how you know you're just mega tired. You know, you drink a whole giant cup of coffee and you still can't deal with it. You know, I think I've talked about the James Ellsworth thing enough. I don't need to talk about James Ellsworth anymore. It's very bizarre, very weird. I don't know. I'd like there to be an investigation so we could find out. But if you remember back with the Enzo thing, you know, Enzo's camp was like begging for an investigation to happen. They had to like beg the police department for an investigation. And they finally did it, and then they said nothing could be found, you know? And I remember Enzo even wrote something like, dude, how messed up is it when girls really do get raped? Because these guys don't even want to look into it. So, you know, Enzo's like, you know, obviously I didn't rape her, and it came back that it was all false. But Enzo was saying, I mean, you know, you can say what you want about Enzo being a prick, right? Enzo being a dickhole. But, you know, you got to remember, while this was going on, he actually still took the time to tweet out, like, how messed up it is that these guys wouldn't follow up with this rape allegation. You know what I mean? And he wanted them to follow up because he knew he was innocent, he said. So, I want them to follow up so I can be proven innocent. But how messed up is it that they won't even do it? So you kind of got to give some kind of credit to Enzo there. He being a pretty straight-up guy, being like, you know, what the hell's wrong with these people not doing their job? Then again, it did suit him, so who knows what. And the other night, him getting kicked out. You know, we got rumors that Vince McMahon is furious. Vince is furious over Enzo Amore being in the building, and you know, getting this hype and whatever else. I know. I mean, he got in the building, man. You know, I don't know how long he was gonna hide there, and I don't know. You know, I don't know how long he was going to hide there for, but yeah, it was just to get himself over. Vince McMahon will reportedly go to great lengths to ensure Enzo Amore doesn't repeat Survivor. Enzo Amore really got the world talking last night as he made a surprise appearance at Survivor Series. Man, Vince has to be pissed. I'm looking for this quote I saw about Vince. And, yeah, I mean, there were, like, signs hung up everywhere that were, like, restricting him and don't let this guy in, and it was pretty funny. And he crapped on Liv Morgan in his recent rap song, too. I don't know, so I gotta listen to that. I haven't heard that yet. Haven't really heard it yet. I thought that first rap that he released, though, where he was, like, where he was dissing the chick who said that he raped her, that thing was pretty friggin' fire lyrically. Like, when you listen to it lyrically, like, the whole style isn't really something I'd listen to that much. But, man, I'll tell you what, dude. He brought some real cool shit in that. He said a lot of stuff. Like, when you read what he wrote or when you can hear the whole thing to yourself, you're just like, damn, man, this guy, like, went off, like, on everything. And it was perfect because he had the reason to. And he had so much to say because it was real. There was so much to rant on for him. To spin it the way he did in the song I thought was pretty awesome. You know, I don't know how if he can keep up with that type of fire because he had so much realism and real world shit right there that he could go into. That he had a lot of stuff to work with. I don't know what he's going to be able to create after this. I mean, we've already seen him now going to Liv Morgan and everything, and that's weird. You know what I mean? But is that what he's going to do? Is that what he's going to, like, basically just, he's going to become the Taylor Swift of this rap genre? You know, I don't know. Be that as it may, tonight is WWE SmackDown Live. So I'm going to be live for SmackDown as always, right here on the Joe Cronin Show. So I hope you guys are tuning in for that tonight to hang out with me and talk about SmackDown. That'll be fun. Here's some breaking news for last minute. Here is Linda McMahon linked to Ivanka Trump email controversy. Linda on how the SBA helps small business. I'm not familiar with what the controversy is, nor do I feel like getting into politics right now. I mean, WWE's already putting me asleep as it is. Possible title defense for AOP. It could be one coming up. And we got the Ring of Honor star could be signing with WWE soon. what's his name, Silas or Silas Young or whatever his name is. I forget his name now. I don't even have the article in front of me. I just remember hearing about it earlier, and yeah, that could be a possibility. He's always a guy that I thought would look good here at, at WWE. He's kind of a throwback looking guy. Could be like the new Blackjacks, that dude. So we'll see what happens with that. And Brock Lesnar is just flirting with UFC like crazy. It is total it's like, is this guy scamming everybody on this? He's going to UFC. He's not going to UFC. But there you go. We'll see what happens. WWE SmackDown tonight. Will it be better than Raw? I would think so. I'd predict SmackDown to be a lot better than Raw tonight. Raw last night was piss garbage. I'd probably give Raw a 2 out of 10 last night. It was so very bad. There was nothing really good about Raw last night. Maybe the Dean Ambrose Seth stuff, but the cartoon chase in the back later on was garbage. Dean Ambrose's promo, I loved it. When he said, oh, we did some horrible things on the road. We did some dastardly things. And that type of stuff comes back at you, man. It comes back at you full. Like, the universe throws it back at you, man. Just look at Roman, Just look at Roman. He's got to answer to the man upstairs. But something worse is happening for you, Seth, because you have to answer to me. That was like, whoa. That was so good. I know some people are like, oh, no. I love it, dude. It's wrestling. Get over it. Put your helmet on. It's supposed to be sick. But then later on, they ruined that whole thing because they had some goofy, overproduced cartoon chase in the back. So everything they did with that was a waste because it got ruined later on. And then pretty much nothing else happened of any interest to me and I couldn't give a crap about. And that was it. Ronda Rousey I thought, a good promo, and that was the other thing I liked. And that's it, man. This is State of the WWE. If you missed any of the other episodes, there's over hundreds of episodes of State of the WWE you can listen to if you want to go back and see how it all started for me. It's one of the longest running. It is the longest running thing I've done on this channel, to be honest. This was 113. We'll see you for 114, probably on Thursday. And hope you guys hit that sub button down below. Don't miss out on more of my content. Hit the like button, the sub button, leave some comments. I'll talk about those from time to time. And popping up now on your screen are some videos you might have missed that were uploaded yesterday and throughout the week. All right, I'm out of here, guys. I'll see you next time for more State of the WWE, and see you tonight for SmackDown Live.